Adam Troy here, Adventures in Paradise. Thank you for joining me. Hey, I'm a Gen Xer. We built all this shit, the internet, and this future. And we are the only things left in this world that, meaning Americans, that really stand for freedom and freedom of choice and freedom of speech. Everyone else has been corrupted. And how is Trump going to take care of this situation? And what is he going to do? And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this military interaction on the drug cartels that has coincidentally, which there are no such things as coincidences. When you think of things that go screwed up in your life, and you're like, oh, there is not a coincidence. There's somebody that pulled that shit every time. And if you're not smart enough to look in your back sometimes about what people around you and the closest ones to you are doing for whatever reason, power, money, status, bullshit. And when I read through this article, I'm not necessarily going to read through the whole article because I'll put it up so that you can see it. You can see what the government is considering doing, written by these four people in general. There's multiple points to this deal. But we run into a situation where the European banking clans, the Canadian banking clans, the Asian banking clans, they've all made plays into South America, and they've gripped hold pretty hard. These BRIC nations, Brazil, India in particular. I'm shocked by Brazil. I was actually married to a Brazilian and a South American. Divorced now. And I understand that culture. I understand the people. I understand why it is the way it is. I'm shocked by Brazil. Lula was in jail. And now all of a sudden he runs a government. He's abusing his power left and right and jailing people that are for freedom. This Trump Brazilian dude. And we have Maduro down there. He's not really just an elected president. It's all a sham. Everybody that works for him, it's all a narco trafficking disaster. And this dude owns a bunch of oil. He's the head narcotics dude for these cartels. This is what it makes it seem like. And here we are. It's 8/8, August 8th, 2025, and we hear tell that Trump and Putin are going to have a meeting in the next couple of days. Well, Witkoff is down there, and he's Trump's negotiator, and as a professional capitalist negotiator, you would never have the big boy come in unless everything is dialed in. The agreement is basically made. It's the presentation of the handshake, and to solidify it and make it stick. That's the only reason Trump would go in there. So this deal is done over in Ukraine now. If Trump pops on a plane. So we have the Canadians. I hope you've been reading this as I speak. We have the Canadians acting the fool with us because their banking clan runs their political system. And they won't let us in there and have it. It's Trump's main bitch, along with the fentanyl, along with just your dystopian nightmare you have up there in taxes, and how the progressives are going to teach you how to live. Understand, Nazis were the left side of the political spectrum. So you've gone around us. You try to make deals with us down in South America. You've tried to, work out some other, instead of just getting off your tariffs and dropping your barriers and paying us a small percentage to trade with us. I'm sure if you would have just been cool, we would probably have given you the lowest number there was. If you would have just dropped your barriers, and things would be jamming, your liquidity would be in. If you just let our banks in there, all of a sudden Canada would turn around. You'd have all the money you needed. You'd have all the projects you needed. But I don't know what your problem is. It's for world domination. There's something we're missing, and it has to do with control of the whole fucking planet. And you're part of it somehow with the World Bank. And Trump understands this. That's why you're not going to get a deal. You're lucky we haven't stuck it to you further. Keep it up. You go down to Mexico and try to cut a deal with Scheinbaum. She's like, hell no. Hell no. That's because, as you can read through this document here, we have the National Guard on our southern border, stopping the flow of immigrants and drugs is the primary reason. That's why it's stated. But it's easily can be enhanced. There can be, you don't have probably a clue how many troops are down there, and neither does the press. I'm sure they say it's 10,000, it's probably 50,000. And then we start to talk about all these gangs and this MS-13 and this trend to Adelawagua shit and all the crystal meth that runs through our country. It's dangerous shit. Professionally made. Pretty wild. Makes people go absolutely insane. And from what I'm reading in here, Maduro seems to be the head dog, and he must place his people he trusts around him in the Venezuelan government and high up in his administration. And Scheinbaum knows this. I don't know if she's one of them, but why Trump hasn't asked Mexico to be the 51st state, because we're going to have to go in and destroy their government. Like, if you're a dirty cop, if you're part of their cartel, you're on some kind of list. If they can get your name out of somebody, and for whatever reason your name comes up, you're going to be, all of your privileges and power will be immediately taken from you. You'll be detained for as long as necessary to figure out the truth. And maybe you'll be released if it's a lie, but if it's not, you would be put in prison for a good long time if you're in America. I don't know what happens down there. Maybe you don't make it out of there. I don't know. But we're making it a priority as our homeland security because of the drugs that come through there and the overall dangerous attitude of these cartels and what they're up to. The human trafficking portion of it, the theft, and having your cartel rings in America robbing all the richest people in America is really dumb. As far as a business decision is made, because now you have the Defense Department of the United States of America to the tune of $800 billion a year we spend on this stuff that are primarily looking to screw you up, cartels. And it's all levels of it. They talk about it throughout this document. We're talking about the borders. We're talking about the seas. We're talking about the air. We're talking about the airplanes. We're talking about surveillance. We're talking about, what happens if we go into cities and shoot civilians that are connected to this. Is it legal? And what that is going to look like. This is going to go across many countries. We're intercepting ships, planes, and people, and they're going to have there's going to be subs out there. You're going to have introductions to the unit and SEAL Team 6 and in MARSOC. Another shocking thing in this document in this report is the fact that William Barr was the Attorney General when Noriega was being taken out for George W. Bush. And here we got, William Barr in these notes basically saying they're going to go to Trump's house before anyone else even knew about it. So Barr's dirty. We've always known this. We've known this all along. The Democrats, the head, the top, the ones that actually run it, are the presidents, the ex-presidents, and they commiserate. I mean, they talk and they work it out amongst themselves. And you're seeing this with the Bushes and the Clintons and the Obamas, and Trump's not playing. They tried to kill him a couple times. So we're going down. I mean, Trump is on full assault. This Mexico thing in an incursion in our military into a Mexican border or any other Venezuela or Nicolas Maduro's $50 million reward or none. There's so much stuff going on. And that's what Trump's deal is. It's a total, complete collapse of their system. Like, it's a complete assault. Like, it's worse than a nuclear attack to them, because he's going after every one of them personally, professionally. The assault on Canada, the assault on Europe, the position we have the Russians financially, the political leadership in Washington, D.C. is all under subpoena and under investigation for wrongdoing. And these people are going to go to jail. A lot of it should be treasonous. And it has nothing to do with who's in power. Look, you had Trump on 90 plus indictments for over 300 years. He went to trial and went to court and won. We did not complain because it was bullshit. But this is what happens to the Democrats. Is they always throw up a bunch of shit that's a lie, and then it comes back and hits them in the back and chops their fucking head off. It's like Wile E. Coyote getting hit with the TNT from the Roadrunner. And every time, all the way back to Tom Daschle and this damn first filibuster. So we are going to really go down into South America now and really cause some havoc. This ought to be interesting. And the news, where are you? There's little to be said about it because what do you focus on? Do you focus on the Clintons or the Epstein thing, or you gonna go over to Russia, or you're gonna talk about the China trade deal, or you're gonna go over and let's talk about Canada's trade deal. This military release on the cartels is to the people that actually make the decisions and that have the power and are in this game. They got to pick their fights. There's just so much going on. Like they can't cover it all. So they're going to cover their ass and hope for the best. And it's not going to go well for them. Especially this dude, Nicolas Maduro. Look at this motherfucker here, man. Wearing his freaking chain and his Venezuelan flag and his big ass ring with his freaking whatever, the sword in his hand. I mean, this is it. This is the pimp of South America right here. He's really played it. This is the head narco motherfucker right here. Oh my goodness. Well, his days are numbered. What's cool about YouTube is some of these other, the Shawn Michael channel or a lot of these ex-warriors, ex-unit guys. You should type in, unit stories, and it'll come up with a lot of really cool stories. And a lot of these guys are mercenaries now for hire. And for $50 million, someone's going to go try to get this guy. So that's going to be interesting as well. Adam Troy, Adventures in Paradise. Please give me a like and a subscribe. That would be awesome. Appreciate you. Have a good day.